Hello and welcome to Yam Yam F1. This is the post-Monaco race podcast. Lots of crashes this time.
Apparently.
Some overtakes.
Was that?
About 3.
Ah.
So, well worth your money for the 71 laps. Aston Martin, Mr. Strulovic.
Mr. Strulovic.
Lance Stroll.
Welcome back, Lance. Welcome back. He's back.
The Lance Stroll that we know and love for
We've missed you.
crashing
We've missed you.
and being famously terrible at driving. Well, he didn't forget how to turn his steering wheel. His steering wheel was turned, and there was a lot of water on the track. However, he had a fantastic game of bumper cars after the lowest hairpin.
Honestly, he loved it. He loved it. Why not sit in a £2-3 million car and go bumper car racing?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to me,
Yeah,
doesn't
fantastic.
it? It sounds like fun.
That rain, obviously, was one of the things that actually switched up the race and allowed some of the switching of positions to happen. Stroll, in particular, found the wall twice in about the space of 50 metres.
Mm.
So, and that was Stroll's day.
2017 Stroll is back.
Back in the building.
And we love it. We have missed you, Lance. We've been pleased for you, but we've missed you.
So, going to the Saturday, the one thing that I actually also missed as well, as it happened.
Yeah, I did not watch any of it.
Qualifying ended up as a Red Bull sandwich. Obviously, Red Bull,
One at the front.
Verstappen
One
being
at the back.
first, Perez being absolutely rock bottom, smashing it into the wall in turn 1. Bad qualifying at Monaco, bad weekend.
Has that ruined his championship? Or is it too early to say?
Well, all I can say is 6 races have gone. Verstappen's now won 4, Perez has now won 2.
It's going to take a lot for Perez to catch up now.
Yes, and I do think if you're going to at least challenge for a title, you need to keep pace somewhat with Verstappen. If you're not going to win, at least sort of keep on his tail.
Yeah.
And this is a race where he's got no points at all. You might argue that for the fact that we didn't have Imola, that's 25 less points that Verstappen's going to get this season.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, it's not great news for Perez.
No.
It ruined his whole weekend. 2 drivers were in luck this weekend, and that was McLaren.
Woo.
Double points for McLaren. And first of all, I want to shout out that livery. It looked gorgeous. I really, really liked it. I didn't know what to think of it at first, but I love the heritage. I love the fact that they got the Triple Crown. They had another one-off livery a few years back, and it proved a successful one again.
I love the idea of McLaren doing that, showing their heritage. I do quite like that. I probably would have chose a better colour scheme on it though. A better livery.
They literally mashed 3 liveries together, didn't they?
Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean,
so it was,
when you're
it was never going to look fantastic, but
No. When you're mashing 3 different liveries together like that, 3 different colours, it's probably not going to look fantastic, but McLaren do always seem to have a really good looking car, I think, which a lot of people might disagree, especially in recent years as well. But I do think they do come up with a good looking car. I don't know what it is about McLaren.
They served it well. They both got points. Piastri got his 2nd points in a race. He got 10th place. Lando Norris got 9th. And realistically, given McLaren's season, that's about as good as they're going to get.
Yeah.
So, it's a successful race for McLaren. Well done to them.
I mean, Piastri did really well, didn't he? You know, for his first race in Monaco. To get a point, I mean, obviously, 1 point is better than no points.
Yeah.
But, you know, he did finish right behind Norris, which I think, you know, is a good result.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the only way you can sort of gauge your own performance is by how you compare with your teammate. Yeah. And he's done really well at Monaco for the first time round. Norris obviously has been on the podium at Monaco.
Yeah.
He's raced there a few times. So in being up with Norris, he's done really well.
Yeah. I mean, what Zach Brown said about him, he said, to be honest, he's doing really well. He hasn't put a foot wrong or made a big mistake yet, which is expected
we've seen
with him.
a lot from a lot of rookie drivers in the past few seasons.
Yeah, which he said it's expected from a rookie in their first 2 or 3 races to have a big mistake. You know, and he's actually been doing okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's, like I've said, you know, before in other podcasts, as time's going on, he's slowly proving me wrong. Mm-hmm. And I don't like people proving me wrong. But I kind of like this one.
But you don't mind if he's McLaren?
Yeah, we both have a soft spot for McLaren, don't we?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm happy for him.
One of their arch rivals down the years, Ferrari, bit of a disaster of a race.
Yeah. How many times did Sainz knock his front wing? Was it twice?
Quite a few times.
Was it more than that?
Quite a few lunges. He carried on going round for a little bit.
I was going to say, he did go on for most of the race with that broken front wing, didn't he? And to go around Monaco like that, he's pretty good work, to be honest,
Yeah,
to stay where he did.
I have to say, there was a few moves throughout the race coming out of that tunnel where they're going about 150 mile an hour, and it's sketchy as anything, isn't it? And especially that one with Sainz and Ocon. Sainz did really well to actually not have a significant impact with Ocon.
Yeah.
Because that would have caused a real amount of damage.
You've seen over the years when drivers are following each other straight out of the tunnel, and either the brakes have failed or they've hit that bump just over
like
the crest,
Leclerc,
and they've just gone flying into the back of them, and
there's just nowhere to go, is there?
No. I mean, when you see them both going, literally arse to toe through the tunnel, you're thinking, this is going to happen again. Like, 'cause it seems to happen every year, almost years. I mean, like, Guan Yu Zhou, that nearly happened to him last year, and how the hell he saved that, I do not know.
That was one of the biggest saves
I've
ever seen. Leclerc, he was pushing Sainz throughout the race for a lot of it. I think he, with pit stops and other things, he jumped a place or two. But another pit stop disaster at Monaco. You see it often. You saw it with Daniel Ricciardo a few years back, and it's symptomatic of the actual communications being separate to the pit garage in Monaco. They're like upstairs, aren't they?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a delay in signal and stuff like that. But they double stack for... Perhaps they could have done an extra lap. I don't know.
I don't think they could have,
Maybe
to be honest.
they'd have lost more time.
Yeah. It probably wasn't worth it. Yeah.
But they double stacked the Ferraris, and it really killed Leclerc's race.
I mean, when Sainz was right up behind Leclerc, and they was coming into the pits... I mean, Charles was literally cut across him, even though it looked like they were going 15 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Because of the rain. Leclerc was like, you're not getting ahead of me in this pit stop.
Yeah,
and obviously, he didn't get past him, did he?
Yeah, so it ruined both Ferrari's race, essentially. Yeah. I mean, there were two quick pit stops. They were both like 2.2 seconds.
Oh, yeah, considering the double stacked.
It was just the waiting to get into the pit box that killed the second driver, really.
Considering the double stacked, they actually got away with it, really, didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean, it looked like it was going to be slow and horrendous, and the tyres weren't going to be ready for Sainz. But it was... as clean as it could be, really, in those conditions. You're in a tight pit lane as well. The cars are literally the size of tanks, especially when it's around Monaco as well. Definitely. So it did decent considering that they had to do a double stop.
One team that definitely benefited from it is Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Your guys, Mercedes. So,
solid.
Hamilton had a really good race. He was right on the back of Sainz for a very, very long time. And in them having that slow pit stop, it benefited massively.
Yeah.
But also... Russell benefited massively from it as well. So they finished 4th and 5th, which in the grand scheme of things, given the way the weekend has gone for Mercedes, it was a massively successful weekend for them.
I mean, them bringing their upgrades, the new front suspension, side pods. I've never been so happy to see side pods on a car. I've never been so happy.
We haven't seen them for 2 years.
No, God, I forgot what one looked like. But the only thing I did really watch over the weekend was just a little bit of practice, and you could see that the car just looks so stable.
And we all know that actually we're not going to see the full potential until next week.
It will be in Spain,
where they're actually on a proper racetrack and they can actually push it to its full potential.
This for Mercedes now with this new car is either you're going to go to hero or you're going to go to zero.
Yeah, and then they're back to square one again.
Exactly.
And talking of research and development, when Perez crashed into the barrier, I'm sure there were a few people photographing the bottom of that car.
Oh, God, yeah.
They lifted it up and everyone was like, oh, my God, is that what it looks like? And they're like...
I mean, when I was taking pictures of Lewis's car in practice when he crashed in FP3, and I saw the pictures underneath the car, I thought, oh, no. All the good secrets have been spilled. But then in qualifying...
Yeah, it was Perez's turn.
When it was Perez's turn, I was like...
Ooh,
okay.
What they got hiding under there? I mean,
you show me mine, I'll show you yours.
Christian Horner, he didn't seem too bothered. To be fair,
nah.
He's like, you can take a photo of it, but at the end of the day, you've got to manage. You've got to produce it.
Yeah.
You've got to test it, wind tunnel it, and you've got to actually come up with a competition.
Yeah.
So, realistically speaking, they're not going to be worried, are they?
Nah.
They're that far in front.
Yeah.
They haven't really got a challenger.
Even if they did copy, say if someone copied their design, for example, their floor, they're probably not going to still be anywhere close to Red Bull, really.
Well, yeah, they've got to get the floor design right, and if they get the floor design right, everything behind it's got to be exactly the same as a Red Bull as well for it to work.
So just from a few
diffusers
pictures,
have got to be right. If they change the front wing, then side pods have got to be right.
Yeah.
And that's been the biggest problem for Mercedes up to this point, is that, yes, if this sort of philosophy doesn't work with the zero pods, everything behind the side pods has then got to be different.
Yeah.
Rear suspension, rear wing, the lot has got to be different. So it's not just a case of whacking on some side pods and going, oh, there you go.
It is literally a brand new car.
A brand new car from like side pods backwards, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
it is literally a brand new car.
Next up, we've got Alpine.
Solid.
Cracking weekend for
Very
Alpine.
solid.
So Gasly finished 7th.
I will admit, when Ocon qualified 3rd, which he did, didn't he?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. When he qualified 3rd, I was thinking, he's going to have a good solid result tomorrow, probably. If he gets 5th, he should be absolutely buzzing with that. That's a good haul of points, especially them qualifying in front of McLaren. But because I didn't watch the race, and then I turned it on the radio, literally as soon as Max was crossing the line. And obviously Fernando came through 2nd, and then he said, obviously, Esteban Ocon 3rd. I was like,
yeah.
He made it. He made
qualified
it stick.
4th, didn't he? And then Leclerc had that 3 penalty. This raises a few questions about Monaco as a racetrack. Now, I'm a massive Monaco fan, not just for the fact that we've been there and experienced it. The glitz and glamour, I think that's the tradition of F1. That's what it was all about, and it's just a continuation of
It's
that.
an historic event.
I like Monaco.
Yeah.
But I can absolutely sympathise with everybody that say, well, actually, it's a bit crap for racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the worst track of the year for racing.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. At the end of the day, you qualify well at Monaco, you finish well at Monaco.
Yeah.
And that happened for both Alpines this weekend. Next up, we have El Plan himself. Mr. Fernando Alonso. On Saturday, I was absolutely praying and hoping. This is absolutely nothing against Verstappen whatsoever. I just wanted Alonso to get pole and win the race.
Let's just put it this way. Everybody, and I mean everyone, even
wanted Alonso to
even
win that race.
hardcore OG Hamilton fans wanted Alonso to get pole and to win. Because that's how much they hate Verstappen. Well, we all want Alonso to win and get pole. Everyone does, regardless. But they wanted Alonso to win because they love Alonso compared to Verstappen.
As a spectator, you vouch for the underdog, don't you? And it's really strange calling Fernando Alonso the underdog, a two-time world champion, 32 race wins.
Yeah.
Like, one of the greatest motorsport drivers of all time.
Yeah. And at the age of, 42, 43.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
And
it should have happened.
And it would have made a great story, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would just be absolutely crazy if Alonso wins a race. If he won at Silverstone, obviously I'd want Lewis to win at Silverstone, especially with his new car. His first win since Jeddah 2021.
Yes.
To be at Silverstone 2023 would be absolutely mega. I'd cry. You know I'd cry.
You probably would, yeah.
I think if Alonso won it, I wouldn't mind. I really would not mind. I'd actually like that.
It would actually be great, especially for the neutral.
I don't want to make any Max fans unhappy because I think it's been made abundantly clear that we have made a lot of Max Verstappen fans unhappy. Well, him.
Me?
Yeah, crybaby Verstappen.
He's not a crybaby.
But as long as Max doesn't win, I am happy. Once again.
Won the race.
Yeah.
And he was a class above everyone else. Fair play to him.
Solid.
You know what? He's got the fastest car. He's the best driver at the moment.
He scraped the wall a couple of times over the weekend.
He did.
How the hell he didn't damage his car during all of it?
No.
Scraping his wall, I do not know.
No,
it's made of bloody titanium, that
watching
car
it
is.
back and they're like, oh, he's hit the wall. And he's like, he's okay then.
He's like,
and you're like,
anyone else hits the wall, literally.
Like the wheel comes off as
they've literally shagged it into the wall.
Literally.
Max is like, oh, I'll carry on.
I bumped my wheel.
I bumped my wheel. What more can you say? A good solid race for Max.
Yeah, a good solid race. And I think given the course of the last few Monaco Grand Prix, it was a relatively eventful one.
Compared to other ones, yeah.
Especially compared to last year.
Yeah, compared
it was
to...
great to be there, but not a lot happened.
I would have preferred to be at this one.
Yeah. And it rained less at this one.
Yeah.
So we got absolutely drenched.
Yeah, I had a cold for a week afterwards.
Oh, on that note, that has been the roundup for the Monaco Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching. Do you want a bit?